that was fantastic. Great job. Everyone, please drop your favorite emoji to show Anna some love, because that was a very cool, very simple but robust explanation on it. I love the free application. Sosa also loved it too, because I've never heard that or said that.
Hi, everybody. Grady Polson. Welcome to the America Agency.
So let's talk about production. So let's talk about what you've done, what your lead flow is, flow, type, etc. And then let's jump into your script. People love your words, what you're saying, how you're selling insurance at the level you're selling it, and how you're training your agents to sell at the level they're selling it. So let's kind of jump into those as we continue on the call.
So the leads I'm working, they've obviously changed quite a bit, of course. I would say that's really important too. You definitely want to keep your skill set sharpened in multiple different types of leads. So if you guys have been in the industry for a long time, you know that leads fluctuate. So sometimes they're going to get saturated. They're going to go back up. But like, what are you going to do in the meantime, right? You're going to have to move to a different campaign type. So I kind of like to run multiple different types. My favorites right now, I'm currently working veteran leads, trucker IULs, and just generalized IUL leads. I have a Facebook ad. So I, have Meta run my thing and they do all that. It's like a daily ad spend. I would say I'm, at the very bare minimum spending $1,200 a week, on leads to get to issue. Like last month I paid $35K. I think I spent, roughly just 35K. Yeah. Hopefully 45K this next month. But yeah, I would say typically the average is going to be around 1,200 to 1,500 a week in lead spend. And I know you guys have heard this multiple different times from multiple other people, but your lead flow literally is your cash flow. Like if you don't have leads, what are you doing in the office? Like there's nothing to do. You have to have something to dial. So like, I don't care if it's your last like $500, like you want to make that into an ROI. You want to triple that. You want to quadruple that, 5X that. Well, you have to spend money on leads to get at least somewhere and give yourself a chance. Because if you're not spending money on leads, like you're just going to be sit there dialing old stuff, leads that you bought a long time ago. This is where burnout happens. And this is where you end up hating the job and cycling out. I'm going to be honest, because I remember I first started and I was very uncomfortable to invest into leads. Like it was one of my biggest fears. I was spending probably like at the very most like $300 a week. And I was even tweaking about that, to be completely honest. I remember I was cycling through my old stuff and I wasn't having any luck, and it was creating doubt, fear, burnout. And I was not happy with myself. And I, again, went to convention, heard that from multiple top producers producing at a level I wanted to be at. And they constantly told everybody in the audience, hey, you need to buy leads. This is how you're going to write business. So I literally, right when I got back from convention that very first Monday, I spent $1,000 on a pack of veteran leads. And from there, boom, like I remember that week, I think I submitted like over $25,000 in business. And I was like, wow, it's really that simple. Okay, I just have to spend money on leads and I'm going to be good. So yeah, I would say really important. You guys definitely, whatever you can, even if you're running silvers, bronze leads, those are, $1, get 100 of them. You'll have something to work with, something to fill the time, and you're going to give yourself a chance to actually create an ROI. But yeah, I would say keep your skill set sharpened in different types of leads. So practice running, silvers, bronze, ethos, veterans, truckers, IUL leads. Yeah, as much practice as you can.
You get some from the ILC, and then you have a Facebook campaign, and you're just you're lead agnostic. I don't care. Just give me a lead. I want someone to call. You've developed your skill set where whatever they say, you can have a conversation with them, move them in a direction. And if you have let's jump into what's your favorite lead type right now, and then let's jump into your script for it, so we can kind of have something to.
Yeah. So my favorite lead type right now, I would say it's probably generalized IULs. So you're you're not
Okay.
really targeting like a specific demographic. It's more so just people who are interested in hearing a little bit about, the IUL programs and everything like that. So pretty much my script is very simple. I'll go into it in just a second, but with the IULs, you want to be careful. You don't want to over explain the IUL, because if you're over explaining it, then you're going to, 9 out of 10 times get the objection that no one likes to hear. Yeah, you can just email me over that information, or I need to think about it with blah, 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 because you overcomplicated it. That's why they need to think about it. So if you just keep it really, really simplified, then they're going to understand the product, trust you, and they're ultimately more likely going to jump in the application with you as well. So, I just introduced myself. I'm like, hi, Grady.
Hello? Who's this?
Hi, Grady. This is Annalise Kettell. I was actually just getting back to you. This was in regards to the request you filled out just to get some more information on those index universal life policies. Does that ring a bell?
No. What was this?
Yeah, so it's the index universal life policies. I know that's a big long name, but it's really just the life insurance products that builds tax-free retirement. You remember that?
Yeah.
Cool.
So what's going on?
Okay, awesome. Yeah, so I just wanted to kind of take some time to go over that information with you. I'm actually a broker with the state. So what that means is I work for roughly about 28 different A-rated insurance companies that offer these IUL programs. So the really cool thing about working with someone like me, I'm going to find you something that'll meet your goals for this product. And then, of course, I'm going to help you find the cheapest cost of insurance too. Okay, so kind of fill me in. What specifically caught your attention, and why did you fill this out?
I've just been putting money right now into my 401k with my company, and it's, I'm not sure what all benefits I'm getting from that. And, I saw an ad online. It looked interesting. Just trying to get some more information right now.
Got it. Well, perfect. Yeah, you're definitely in the right place. My job is just to kind of educate you, see if this even does make sense for you. And then ultimately, if it does, amazing. What we'll do, we'll submit a free application just to, of course, make sure you get approved. Again, but we'll get to that a little bit later. I just want to make sure that this can actually benefit yourself and your family. Okay. So, and then I kind of just go into like recapping what an IUL policy is. I break it down into 3 different.
Yeah.
What was that?
Tell us. How do you say it?
Okay, perfect. Yeah. So I'm just like, awesome. I'm just going to kind of recap what this policy is specifically. It's really, really simple, big fancy name, but I'll keep it really light with you here. So it's just a permanent type of life insurance that not only offers a death benefit, like when you do pass away, this is what's going to be going to your family with a tax-free check, but it also builds a cash value component. Okay. So unlike any traditional whole life or like term or accidental, the IUL is actually going to give you an opportunity to earn interest based on the performance of the S&P 500, but also protecting you, with the downside swings of the market as well. So let me bring up that 401k example for you, Grady. So let's say you have a 401k, right? You're allocating a lot of your hard-earned money in that account. And if you want to do, of course, pull from it early, usually it's really hard to do that, especially because you're going to have to pay heavy taxes on it. You're going to be charged all these penalty fees. Depends on the employer, but that's most of the time the case, right? Okay, perfect. Yeah. So with the IUL, the cash value, you can actually access that at any point in time without having to pay really heavy taxes and interest fees on it. And you can use it stipulation free too. So what that means is, you can use it for a down payment on a home. You can buy yourself a new car. You can use it to pay your, kids' college tuition. You name it. You can use this for literally a second bank account, which is super, super awesome. Now, last thing, I'm going to bring up that 401k example for you one more time. Now, let's say the market were to take a hit and go below that 0% floor. Okay, you have your 401k, you're going to lose so much money. And that's your hard-earned money that you worked really, really hard for, right? But with the IUL, the policy's cash value, that's actually going to be protected by a 0% floor. So that's just ensuring that your money only has upside potential from market gain. So again, let's say you have your IUL policy, the market were to take a hit and go below that 0% floor. You're actually not going to participate in any sort of market losses, and you literally cannot lose any cash value. You only benefit from market gain. Does that kind of make sense, Grady?
Sounds incredible.
Okay. And then I'd go into health and all that stuff. And yeah.
No, that was fantastic. Great job. Everyone, please drop your favorite emoji to show Anna some love, because that was a very cool, very simple but robust explanation on it. I love the free application. Sosa also loved it too, because I've never heard that or said that.
Hi there. Hope you're enjoying the training. Just real quick, we came out with this insurance sales guide, over 100 pages of life insurance product knowledge, mindset, insight, lead, scripts, presentation, over 30 plus objections. I will send it out to you free. Just click the link below and we'll send it out to you free.
So, but when you go into those details and you talk about the IUL and that, you're talking about the market, you don't lose people there? Like, cause it's you kind of like, is that the end? Like, we're going to talk about that. Your money is going to grow. You're not going to lose it because it's got a floor, 0% floor. And that's kind of, you're not going to talk about cap rates. You're not going to talk about indexes. You're not going to talk about MEC or Target or anything like that, right? That's the thing. People, they get so smart at this stuff, they want to share that with the clients, and confused people take no action. That's a great line. So people understand if they're putting money in their 401k, it's associated with the market and it's going to go up and down with the market. And an IUL, it's pegged against the market. They're using an index to determine the growth of it, but they also protect you from the floor, while with the other benefits of an IUL, death benefit, living benefits, cash value. So IULs are fun for you. You like IULs. It's like kind of it's funner to talk about.
Yeah. IULs are amazing because they're a really good product. I actually have my own IUL. And I try to put in $1,000 a month to overfund it for the cash value, because by the age of 50, I think it's 52 or 53, I'll have over $1 million in there, and I'm just going to pull that all out. So, like, guys, we're selling amazing products. These are no joke. They're great products. So it's like, I'm selling something I believe in. And you all should believe in it too, because they're fantastic products. Granted, yes, a lot of people don't qualify for them. And that's what I like to also position in my in my script as well. I'm just like, hey, I just want to be fully transparent with you before we step into the medical questions here. About 30% of the people I talk to actually do qualify for these programs. So we don't even know if this is an option for you yet. Okay. So we're definitely going to have to make sure we can, obviously get you that approval. If we can't get you approved, what we're going to talk about is something called, a starter IUL. It's a whole life policy, and I'll kind of further explain that if we need to go there. And then I'll show them both of the quotes, just if I go through their preliminary health questions and it's a little bit iffy, or like I'll just show them the quotes for the whole life coverage if it's like really bad health, and then I'll just explain why. And, hey, 12 months, we can revisit this if your health improves, all that stuff. So, but yeah, about half my business this last year. So I paid in 2025 about $230K, and I think more than half of it was IUL. So there's a lot of healthy people out there that'll get approved.
Yeah. I mean, for clarity, an IUL is going to have the same underwriting guidelines as term, and whole life is going to be more lenient because there's less risk, right? Where people are always like, why can't this? And it's like, it's all based on risk. What is the carrier on the hook for if the client dies? And an IUL, the death benefit can go higher, so there's more risk to the insurance company, so they have more stipulations. Our whole lives, now what's just so incredible about trans, which we talked about at the top of the call, going up to 100K on their whole lives without changing underwriting guidelines, is fantastic. So like we've got options as the industry improves and these carriers start to wake up to how much production we're bringing them, they're going to continue to benefit us. So your favorite IULs? What's your carrier mix?
I like, if you know me personally, Americo is my love. But Transamerica, I like. They're a good second. They're pretty good with approvals as well. And then I would go Americo, Transamerica, then Mutual, honestly, for the IULs. Americo, obviously, as we all know, they're fantastic. They're the cheapest cost of insurance for the client. So it's always good if we can get them approval for the most part. But yeah, other than that, I would say like if they do get declined Americo going trans, there's always a good shot they'll get approved. So you can just give it a go. But if you do have to transition into like the whole life coverage for them, how I'm structuring that as well, I'll also ask them before I get into obviously an application for the IUL in the first place. I'm like, hey, let me ask you a question, John. So with the IUL, there's multiple different ways I can actually structure this. Would you say the death benefit's most important to you, the cash value accumulation, or are you kind of sitting at a mix of both? 99% of people say mix of both. So that means that they see the value in actually having the coverage itself. So that's what you're going to use in terms of like, if you have to pivot, you have to build value actually on the death benefit itself. Like, yeah, it still builds cash value. Great. But you're going to have to obviously, you know, build more value on the actual death benefit side of things if you do have to pivot. So I do always ask that.